All right, friends, welcome back. We've got another tasty little goals menu on the table tonight. The theme is simple: chaos, nerves, bad defending at the wrong moment, and at least a couple of goalkeepers wondering why life chose them. We're riding with the over 1.5 vibe again, because these games all have that lovely midweek energy where legs get heavy, minds get messy, and somebody always does something deeply suspicious in their own box. So grab your tea, your coffee, your lucky scarf, whatever ritual keeps the football gods calm, and let's get into the picks. Pick 1, Leicester versus Bristol City. First up, Leicester against Bristol City, and this one feels like pure championship stress theater. Leicester are in a proper scrap near the bottom after that points deduction, and Gary Rowett has been talking like a man who knows every match now comes with smoke coming out of the ears. They've also had keeper issues, with Francisco Vietas twisting his knee and Jakub Stolarczyk likely needed again, which is not exactly the kind of calm spa day preparation you want for a pressure game. Bristol City, meanwhile, are still hanging around the playoff conversation, so both teams have real motivation here. One side chasing survival, the other chasing the fun seats. That's why I like goals. The mood is too urgent for a sleepy 0-0. This has big. One goal opens the floodgates, and suddenly everyone forgets shape energy. Pick 2, Doncaster versus Luton Town. Now, Doncaster against Luton has a lovely, slightly unhinged League One aroma. Luton are doing that thing where the season somehow contains both promotion ambition and emotional damage at the same time. They've just booked a Wembley date in the Virtu Trophy, then immediately served their fans a fresh helping of disbelief after losing to Reading. On top of that, Teden Mengi is expected to miss the rest of the season, and there have been more little injury alarms floating around too. Doncaster, for their part, came out of the weekend without fresh injury worries, but they're trying to stop a losing run. That mix is perfect for our kind of pick. One team arrives tense and chaotic, the other desperate to respond at home. Translation: nobody fully trusts their back line. Everybody talks themselves into just one more attack, and suddenly we're in business. Pick 3, Mansfield versus Reading. Mansfield against Reading feels sneaky good for goals because Reading are rocking up in form and full of swagger after Kelvin Ehibatiamhan's hat-trick against Luton. That is not subtle confidence. That is, give me the ball and let me ruin someone's evening confidence. Mansfield's own preview made it clear they're looking to bounce back at home, and when you get a home side trying to reassert itself against a confident away team, you usually get a game with a bit of edge and a bit of bite. This doesn't feel like a quiet tactical chess match. It feels more like a match where both teams believe they can have their moments, which is all I need for over 1.5. Basically, the vibe here is one team is hot, the other is stubborn, and football tends to reward that combination with at least 2 messy little plot twists. Pick 4, Wigan versus Plymouth. Wigan versus Plymouth is the kind of game where the table may whisper, careful, but the actual vibe screams, someone's defending a cutback terribly tonight. Wigan are chasing a 3rd straight home win, so they'll come out with a bit of intent. Plymouth have been carrying injury baggage, but there's also been some good news with players returning, which usually means a manager starts dreaming again and football gets a little more adventurous than it should. Add in the fact that Plymouth have had some rough, dramatic moments lately, including that nasty Arabim Pepple injury story and a season that's had more bumps than a budget airline landing, and this feels like a team that can both score and wobble. Over 1.5 here is basically a bet on football being football. Scrappy, emotional, and one deflection away from full nonsense. Pick 5, KAS Eupen versus Lierse SK. Let's hop to Belgium for Eupen against Lierse, which has that beautiful, nobody fully behaves themselves Challenger Pro League mood. Eupen sit above Lierse in the table, but they've been a bit draw-happy at home, and Lierse's recent form line looks like a team capable of either surprising you or ruining your coupon in a deeply theatrical way. Even better for the storyline, Lierse have won the last 3 head-to-head meetings listed on FOTMob, so there's a little psychological needle in this one too. That gives us exactly what we want. One side wanting revenge, the other side knowing they've had this matchup's number. This is not calm energy. This is someone scores, then everyone starts making emotional decisions energy. Perfect. Wrexham against Hull City. It's a straight-up playoff scrap with Hull sitting just above Wrexham, and both clubs know this is the kind of match that can swing the whole mood of the week. Wrexham's own preview called Hull a side with the Premier League in their sights, and Phil Parkinson's been hammering the complete focus message. Hull have some injury issues, and Matt Crooks is suspended, but they've also had a boost with Mo Balumi returning to training. In other words, both teams have enough quality to hurt you, and enough pressure to make the game spicy. This has all the ingredients: crowd noise, nerves, ambition, and at least one period where defending becomes more of a suggestion than a rule. If this match were a person, it would walk into the room, slap the table, and demand drama. That's the card, that's the vibe, and that's the mission. Keep it friendly, keep it fun, and let the goals do the talking. May your picks be green, may your keeper not attempt something outrageous in the 88th minute, and may the football chaos land in our favor for once. Let's go.